says officials. Guyana initiates efforts to overhaul and modernize public service. Murdered robbery suspect, mother calls for justice. MOH worker tries to bribe police with 4.5 million following probe into theft at drugs bond. And government concerned about potentially low uptake if Guyana acquires COVID vaccines for 5 to 11 age group. Now for the news in detail. The need for Guyana to explore, analyze, and monitor its groundwater resources was underscored by several officials today during an event to commemorate World Water Day 2022, which is being observed under the theme, Groundwater Making the Invisible Visible. Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Water Inc., Sheikh Bashk, believes that the local water supply sector needs to be re-envisioned, while Water Minister Colin Crowell posits that the sustainable use of water resources is the way into the future. Luanda McAllister reports.
During the opening of an exhibition that was held at the National Cultural Center in recognition of World Water Day 2022, head of GWI Sheikh Bash revealed that the company has 135 wells that are currently functioning as the major supplier of potable water. This is coupled with over 20 private sector wells. He added that the company is currently looking at ways to support the dynamic drive of the government and will have to drill more wells to accommodate those projects. However, he said going into the future, government needs to explore other options of accessing water.
At the Cover Creek in Region 10, there's a source there from which we extract the water directly from the creek and it's fed with chlorination into the distribution network. This is what we would like to see replicated when we talk about the surface water. And only last week I was in the East Demerara Water Conservancy. We looked at the water. It looks like a very good source of water. And our lab has already taken samples, and we're looking at what kind of treatment will be required. And when we look at the water and the color of the water, it's very encouraging. So much more work has to be done. We also have to ensure that you don't drill and drill and drill wells and extract this resource. What have we done recently? A well collapsed at Yakasari. Well, we didn't go and drill a new well. We were able to better manage the network, the infrastructure, and people are happy.
Bash said the extraction of water for the year 2019 was 13 million cubic meters of water a month, and that rose to 15 million cubic meters monthly, something the company cannot sustain.
And therefore, better management of the resource, better management of the infrastructure is required. And GWI is on the move in this area, I wish to announce. So by 2021, we were back to the 2019 figure, just over 13 million cubic meters of water per month. And without reducing the supply intentionally to all the various regions and communities and so on. So we recognize these things, and there's a big cost.
He further revealed that GWI spent $606 million in chemicals last year for their treatment plants.
For the energy to drive our wells and the treatment plants, it's nearly $3 billion was spent last year. And you can understand we are on the move to now construct 12 new treatment plants. So we have to plan carefully in terms of energy efficiency and the chemical use, and ensure we have the right designs of plants to minimize the use of or overuse of chemicals.
According to Bash, the water supply sector in Guyana needs to be re-envisioned. Housing and Water Minister Colin Crowell has already disclosed that a study will soon get on the way to determine whether the water captured at the Hope Canal facility can be treated to be used as a sustainable source to serve the East Coast Demerara corridor. Reporting for the Evening News, Luanda McAllister.
At overhauling the public sector through the use of information technology and other modernized approaches, Guyana has initiated efforts to ensure it achieves the Sustainable Development Goals. Here is more from Rupa Sinarain.
The Public Service Ministry has partnered with several international organizations for a virtual workshop on innovation, digital government, and changing mindsets for public sector transformation in Guyana to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. The objective is to develop an understanding of the key role of the public administration in implementing the SDGs and the need for changing mindsets. Government advisor Dr. Jennifer Westford said this is a turning point for transformation and will result in a public sector that can keep apace with the fast-growing economy.
Guyana is undoubtedly a breathtaking country which possesses every enviable resource one could think of. But even so, our society is not as advanced and as modernized as we would want it to be. It is therefore time to breathe life into the public sector and begin implementing policies and programs that are modern and befitting of a nation which boasts of having one of the world's fastest growing economies. The services that we offer must be modern and easily accessible. Our systems must no longer frustrate our people, but alleviate their daily worries and challenges.
Regional Coordinator and Lead Technical Advisor on ICT at CARICOM, Jennifer Britton, said Guyana has already understood the benefits of integration and can share its successes with the region.
Continue to show the leadership that it's always shown through this initiative and all other areas which are related to transformation and innovation. Speakers before me have alluded to the fact that Guyana is now on the cusp of a brand new economic model and landscape, and that also requires additional attention from you as senior public servants as you go along your daily work.
Executive Director of the Caribbean Center for Development Administration, Devon Rowe, emphasized that improvement requires a change in mindset.
The mindset of the public service must change. And one important change is to move from a total focus on rules and procedures towards an equal focus on results. We are all aware that there is still an implementation deficit in our region. Improvement requires a change in mindsets. Our behaviors and organizational cultures need to change.
Partners in this venture include the Caribbean Community, the United Nations, and the Caribbean Center for Development Administration. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
We now tell you that as Guyana continues to feel the effects of the global rise in the cost of living, the People's National Congress Reform says it wants to see emergency measures instituted by the government to alleviate the burden on consumers locally. Gerald Bryan reports.
During a press conference on Tuesday, PNCR leader Aubrey Norton made a call for emergency measures to be implemented to address the rising cost of living locally. Norton was of the view that increasing the 2022 salaries of public servants and increasing the personal income tax threshold, among other things, would go a long way in cushioning the effects of higher prices. Additionally, he called for the $5 billion set aside by the government in the 2022 budget to immediately be put to use addressing inflation.
Mounting inflation in prices must be seen as a crisis. And a crisis demands emergency responses. Such emergency measures could include 1. Granting a market supplement to low-wage workers. 2. Expanding the school feeding program to cover 2 to 3 nutritious meals a day. 3. Subsidizing basic food items such as flour, cooking oil, rice, milk, and 4, providing increased resources to families in the public assistance program.
On Monday, in an exclusive interview with this newscast, Minister of Governance and Parliamentary Affairs Gail Teixeira had said that Cabinet is already examining various measures it can take to alleviate the cost of living. According to her, Cabinet previously took measures to lower the excise tax rate on gasoline and diesel. Other measures included the Farmers Market Day initiative.
What we have been doing, I think one of the initiatives was to have these farm markets where the farmers come directly, so the middlemen are cut out basically. So the transportation costs of the middleman or their what do you call profit margin would be cut out, so people can go and buy directly from the farmers. There have been several of those, and I think they've been received well to see if we can keep some of the costs down. What is left, those are measures that I know that are being examined but have not been concluded.
During an interview with this newscast last week, two major private sector bodies, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Private Sector Commission, had called for the removal of excise taxes on fuel and of income taxes until the cost of living stabilizes, as well as relief grants to citizens. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh is currently in Islamabad, Pakistan, where he is representing Guyana at the 48th session of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Council of Foreign Ministers, slated for March 22 to 23. Find out more in this report.
Organization of Islamic Cooperation is considered the second largest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations, with the membership of 57 states covering 4 continents. The OIC is the collective voice of the Muslim world to ensure and safeguard their interests on economic, socio and political areas. The 48th session coincides with the 75th anniversary celebrations of Pakistan's independence. The theme for this year's session is Partnering for Unity, Justice and Development. During a statement on Tuesday on behalf of Guyana's government, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh called for concerted global action to tackle global problems. The Finance Minister also reaffirmed Guyana's steadfast commitment to the values of the OIC and contributions towards the furtherance of the organization's objective. Meanwhile, on the sidelines of the event, Dr. Singh met with the President of the Islamic Development Bank, Dr. Mohammed Solomon Al-Jasser. The meeting allowed for discussions on closer collaboration between Guyana and the bank to further advance government's vision and development agenda for Guyana. Dr. Singh also met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey. During the meeting, Dr. Singh committed to deepening ties between the two countries and discussed ways in which they can be advanced. Guyana and Turkey established diplomatic relations on May 2nd, 1973. Moreover, Dr. Singh held talks with Director General of the Islamic Organization for Food Security, Mr. Yerlan Badoulet. The IOFS is a specialized institution for the OIC that aims to ensure sustainable food security in member states by addressing problems associated with food insecurity, including hunger, malnutrition, famine, and food storage. For the Evening News, Lawanda McAllister.
The mother of a robbery suspect who was handed over to the police dead is calling for the persons responsible for her son's demise be brought to justice. The now dead man was a suspect in a brazen armed robbery committed on a family of Kimbia, Berbice River, Region 10. Andrew Carmichael has this story.
The motionless body of 38-year-old Kwame Bagwandin, a laborer of Angais Avenue, New Amsterdam, was handed over to police on Saturday, and he was later pronounced dead by a doctor. Bagwandin was a suspect in an armed robbery committed on a family at Kimbia, Region 10, which occurred on Friday night. Police have remained mum on both the robbery and the killing of the man. However, the Evening News understands that at least 4 men carried out the robbery on a businessman and his family. The men reportedly kicked down the front door to the house after failing to get through the grilled windows. According to Ryan Gladstone, 2 of the men had handguns and a third had a shotgun. The 2 brothers and their wives were beaten during the robbery. Meanwhile, as villagers were on the hunt for the bandits, Bagwandin, a stranger to the small riverine community, was seen and reportedly captured. Pictures seen by this newscast of the now dead man shows that his hands and feet were bound together with a rope, and there was what appeared to be blood on his face and other parts of his body. His mother, Donna Little, in describing the graphic images which were sent to her phone, said the photographs were taken at more than one location.
It is a murder because how they tie up and what I see on the on him, that is a murder. That's a cruel murder.
She explained that from some of the photographs that she would have seen, it appears as though Bagwandin was tortured.
He got the rope tie around his neck, he hold on and tie like a real tie it together, bring up his 2 foot and tie. He lie down, all his belly, the strippy. I got another picture with a strippy. I don't even know what going on because He been to postmortem today and are still in there for examine the body properly. So tomorrow when I go, I would able to go because what they was saying that I cannot see the body.
She is hoping for a thorough investigation by the police and for justice to be served. The mother, who identified the body on Monday before the autopsy was performed, said persons who were robbed claimed that the bandits were all masked and could not be recognized. According to the 61-year-old mother, her son would make frequent visits to the Upper Berbice River. While police have not issued any official information on this incident, this newscast understands that at least one person has been questioned in relation to the death of Bagundin. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Coming up, quarantine man remanded for 2 hit-and-run deaths and no ophthalmology program to target remote communities. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
This is Mocha.
John Lewis Styles introduces Eddie Domani, Vertical Sport, and Alberto Cardinale, a line of very affordable men's clothing especially suited for the workplace. Get polos from $2,800, dress shirts from $3,995, shirt jacks from $5,500, and even jeans and dress pants from $5,995. We can supply large companies with special sizes and colors upon request. Come visit us on Waterloo Street and ask for a quotation. Umbrellas, computer bags, footwear, and women's workwear are also available. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
In just 2 years, oil production earned Guyana a whopping $608 million. These funds are being used to build bridges, roads, and other infrastructure to improve the lives of all Guyanese.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you're feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more. Combo pack of flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, is the best mix, so we feeling best.
Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack, now with a new look and new mix. Grab your pack today.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
Renovating or extending your current home? Or are you building your first home and need electrical components? Then visit Gafu's Electrical Department, your one-stop shop for all your electrical needs. We now have in stock electrical cable for your home, 2-core, 1.5mm and 2.5mm flat cable, complete with earth. Also available in heavy-duty sizes up to 16mm. Round flex cable, 1.5mm to 16mm. Switches in 1 to 6 GAN. Flush and surface outlets, junction boxes and connections, bulb sockets and much more. Single, double and duplex pole breakers, 2 to 30-way panels, voltage regulators and transformers. We've got domestic water pumps in 1/2 and 1 horsepower and pressure pumps 1 to 1.5 horsepower with 24 liters to 300 liter tanks. American-made Rude electrical water heaters in 20 gallons to 50 gallons. Split system AC units in regular and inverter types from 12,000 BTU to 36,000 BTU. And we're offering free installation. Remember, for the best services, quality products at competitive prices, it's Gafu's, the name you can trust.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A young employee attached to the Ministry of Health was detained by police in relation to an apparent burglary committed at the entity's drugs bond at Diamond, East Bank, Demerara, attempted to bribe the law enforcement officers with over $4.5 million. According to a statement issued by the Guyana Police Force, ranks visited the bond at around 13 hours on Monday to conduct investigations after receiving reports of a simple larceny committed there. The evening news understands that there is an apparent racket ongoing whereby drugs stored at the bond would go missing. Investigators contacted and interviewed several employees who were fingered in the alleged crime. After all the workers denied the allegations, the investigators proceeded to search a motor car PAB 3032, which is owned by one of the suspects, a 23-year-old male. Police found a duffel bag containing a 9mm Luger pistol without a magazine and 2 rounds of 9mm ammunition, a .380 pistol with a magazine containing 7 matching rounds, 20 rounds of .380 ammunition, and a large quantity of cash. The vehicle's owner, when cautioned of the offense committed, reportedly asked police to have the matter dealt with outside of the police station. The man was, however, arrested. He, along with 4 other employees, were taken to the Golden Grove police station, where they were kept in police custody for questioning. The vehicle's owner, during questioning, requested his duffel bag. When it was handed to him, the man withdrew $1.7 million cash and offered it to the officers to drop the charges likely to be instituted against him. At this point, he was told of the new offense committed, corrupt transaction with agent, and cautioned in accordance with the judge's rules. Thereafter, the man then offered all the money in his possession in exchange for his freedom. It was revealed that a total of $4,580,000 cash was found in his possession, which included US $5,760. The said money, firearms, and ammunition were lodged, and he remains in custody as further investigations are in progress. We now tell you that 2 persons are now homeless after a fire destroyed a 1-story building at number 71 Village, Quarantine, Region 6, on Friday evening. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that arson is suspected.
Flames were seen coming from the number 71 Village building at about 23 hours on Friday. The building was occupied by 25-year-old Richard Budram and a friend. Budram says he did not sleep at home that evening after he was threatened by a villager. He spent the night in a hammock at a cousin.
Me went up around there, been drinking, and he tell me how he go kill me. And he go burn down the house.
And what did you do?
He there right up front house and lay down on me.
So you didn't sleep here?
Yeah, me sleep the night here.
The building was owned by Pulmati Bridgelal. The fire also caused damage to both the buildings situated on the right and the left. According to Bridgelal, she moved out from the building 8 years ago after her daughter passed away and she and her husband separated, and she started living 1 street away with an aunt.
My son wake up and say, Mommy, too Kali was he making the Abbey house again. Anyway, since my daughter did, I will live in front because we get 2 handicapped auntie. And after my daughter did, 2 my mom moved it fast, and then my grandfather did. So I end up a front house and live with them and look after my 2 handicapped auntie. God, 2 and kind of sickly. And then turn me more little and so make me end up there too. So me ask him nothing. Well, me jump out from bed, right? Me jump out, he done open the door and come out. So me just pull the blind, and when me watch, me see a house ablaze with fire. So I just take my phone, I lock the house, and I come away. When I come to the house, when don't catch fire, and people when I try to outreach, our neighbor, then I actually throw water from the hay.
She referred to the building as being an old one, but says any assistance to rebuild it will be appreciated.
This house, when me making even calls now, but you know, if we get little assistance to make a back and whatever, make back on it, because I mean, me get 2 children and grow up, my son, the same kids. And that place on the stay on the front and me one. So tomorrow morning we can get kicked out there too.
So the cousin not burned the house, you only had any issue?
No, me and the boy live good. I will never get problem.
And where we normally live?
Well, even there with the mommy and it kind of fighting the mommy.
That's where?
Next 2 houses from here.
And how come you end up here?
Well, honestly, he threatened the mommy. Say mommy can put police for them and he left and go away. Which means different uncle house couple day, but he uncle put them out. And then me think somewhere in a reef he tell me that he make one little camp. And I'm happy somewhere I know how he come. But he asked me because land from there go till I see them. He asked me that if he can plant them. So I tell him that like go ahead and plant them, which me get medicine for spray and so. So he do all that. But me don't know that he come and bring it back here, which this little boy tell me, Richard tell Kevin and Kevin tell me.
Meanwhile, police are on the hunt for a suspect. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
A 37-year-old driver was today remanded to prison for causing the death of 2 individuals in a hit-and-run accident which occurred along the number 70 public road on Friday evening. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael joins us again to report that a total of 5 charges were instituted against the accused.
37-year-old Vavindra Ramdari of number 69 Village Quarantine is charged with 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving, 2 counts of failing to render assistance, and 1 count of failing to stop after an accident. He appeared at the Springland Magistrates Court before Magistrate Alex Moore and was not required to plead to the causing death charges. However, he pleaded not guilty to failing to render assistance and failing to stop after an accident. Ramdari is being represented by attorney-at-law Bernard De Silva. It is alleged that on March 18, Ramdari drove motor van PVV 1015 in a dangerous manner, causing the death of 28-year-old Felicia Fernandez of 14 Covent Garden, East Bank, Demerara, and Tony Lacram, 19, of number 71 Village Quarantine. Police prosecutor Corporal Winston Palaya objected to bail, saying that the accused rendered no assistance after hitting the duo. He told the court that Ramdari, rather than taking the injured persons to seek medical attention, went home and changed vehicles and then fled to Georgetown. He pointed out that Ramdari was arrested by intelligence and did not turn himself over to the police. Attorney-at-law Bernard De Silva told the court that his client traveled to Georgetown to contact him, while a relative in Berbice made a report of the accident to the Springlands police station. Ramdari is not a flight risk and should be granted bail, De Silva told the court, while adding that his client's relatives are currently negotiating with relatives of the 2 deceased. Magistrate Moore said he's looking into the interest of the deceased and denied bail. Ramdari will have to return to court on April 14 when the matter comes up again for a police progress report. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Aimed at fueling innovative solutions and adding to the world's digital transformation, the Education Ministry on Monday launched the Spark program, which will see youths exposed to artificial intelligence and leadership skills. Rupa Sinarayan has the details.
For 8 weeks, 136 students from various schools and technical institutions will benefit from 2 tracks, leadership and creating change, and the second focusing on artificial intelligence and building such software. Computer science professor at the University of Michigan, Jason Mars, and the founder of the Lead Mindset, Denise Hilleman, will be leading the program.
We're going to be teaching the absolute latest software systems for building scalable artificial intelligence products. These are the same software systems that Google and Microsoft and Apple and the biggest companies use. So our students are going to be learning how to use these systems and software to build real AI applications.
I know that one of Guyana's digital transformational goals is to capture the development of ideas and technology. And that's really good. Our goal with Spark is to support that by sparking creativity in everyone to power new innovations. But we just don't want to impart knowledge. We want you to have confidence and self-belief to generate ideas from the knowledge to make our world a better place by adding value to others.
BCS Technology is one of the partnering agents in this venture. Francis Cumberbatch said they are investing to drive the transformation journey which Guyana is embarking on.
This Spark program is one of many. This is the starting of many that we will have. In addition to that, we plan to also push this program a bit further, where we involve University of Guyana graduates as well. We've already been doing a separate program on that as well. And then we will have, of course, what's next? Paid apprenticeships for people like yourselves that have come out from these programs, because at the end of the day, employment is what's important. We need to know where we go next, and that's what we'll be doing here as the company.
In her remarks, Education Minister Priya Manik Chand said government is focused not only on academic success, but all-round competence of students.
We're investing in making sure your physical surroundings, infrastructure, is different. So there's a heavy investment in how you will perform academically. But we want far more for you. We want far more for you. So the ideal child we see exiting the secondary sector should be competent not only in academics, but in a sport, in music, in an instrument, in another language, in volunteerism, and in TVET subjects. Competent as opposed to passing CXC.
Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
The Ministry of Health will be targeting patients in remote areas with the launch of the pilot community ophthalmology program. This was disclosed by Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, who noted that the program is one of several interventions to improve eye care services across the country. Here's a look.
We are also starting this year a community ophthalmology program, meaning that we have been working with a group out of Johns Hopkins University. They have piloted snap-on spectacles or snap-on lens, and this is a very simple technology to use, but it can have a great impact. So what it really does is you go into a community, you're able to test everyone's eye very quickly, and based on the results of those tests, you can give them a spectacle. And that's done in less than 10 minutes. So that's a program that we'll be piloting this year. We have ordered at least 3,500 such spectacles, and the program is going to be started in very remote areas, because in a lot of instances these persons do not have the opportunity of getting such service. So we'll pilot it, and if it works well, then we will move that to other areas.
With the current low uptake of COVID-19 vaccines among the 12 to 17 age category, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has expressed concerns about what the situation will be if Guyana acquires vaccines for the 5 to 11 age group. Here's more.
With schools reopening fully on April 25th, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony reiterated the need for children to get immunized against the novel coronavirus. However, Dr. Anthony lamented the slow uptake of vaccines among the 12 to 17 age category, where only 34% have received both shots.
Well, adolescents should get vaccinated. As you know, we have been struggling with our 12 to 17 vaccine. We have given out 34,193 doses as first dose. That's about 46.9% of that age cohort. And we have completed 24,832 second doses. That's 34% of that age cohort. Now vaccines are available, and it is astonishing that you have something that can help to reduce the severity of COVID, and we still have hesitancy where parents are not allowing their children to come forward and get vaccinated.
In light of this situation, the health minister expressed worry that when or if Guyana acquires vaccines for the 5 to 11 age group, the uptake will be similar.
The vaccination rates that we are seeing in the adolescent, that's the 12 to 17 age group, it's not really encouraging, because we have these vaccines right now, and yet we have some amount of hesitancy and children or the parents not bringing their children for the vaccine for the 12 to 17. So when we get the vaccine for the 11 to 5, I hope that we will get parents bringing out their children, because the government is investing substantial sums of money to be able to acquire these vaccines.
He also reminded that vaccines for this younger age category are different from the vaccines being administered to adults and the 12 to 17 group.
As you know, the 11 to 5, it's a totally different dosage, and therefore it is not easily available on the world market because there is a demand for it. And we have been working hard to get that vaccine in Guyana, and I do hope that when we get it, that we'll see better results than we are having right now with the 12 to 17.
Okay, Minister, if you can... Over 10,000 persons under the age of 19 were infected with COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic, representing 15% of total cases detected in the country. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Guyana has recorded 7 new cases of the novel coronavirus, taking the total positives detected to date to 63,202. There is 1 person receiving treatment in the ICU, 11 in institutional isolation, 111 in home isolation, and 18 in institutional quarantine. Recoveries stand at 61,853, while the death toll remains at 1,226. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Wednesday, March 23rd at 10 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berries River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Wednesday, March 23rd at 7 hours 20 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Guyanese trio jets off to Ecuador for AMBC Championships, and GCA launches 2-day competition with multiple sponsors on board. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by Macorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Try our virtual sports and win big with so much matches to choose from. Betting starts at $100. Play for your chance to win. Log on to www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents to place your bets. Terms and conditions apply. Have fun and play responsibly. Must be 18 and over to play.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, Step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-11.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvie's has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rijnveld.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.